You already have 3 types of documents that talk about your past. Please make at least one that will talk about your future. Do not be, very like harsh and official. Hello everyone, it's Elizaveta from relocation. On this channel we are sharing all the important tips and tricks of how to make a perfect global talent visa application. So if you're interested in this, stay with us. Today we are talking about your perfect personal statement and how to write a personal statement. For those who don't know, the personal statement is a part of your application that is, I think it's the most important part of your application actually, and this is a document that provides information of what are you going to do in the UK, what are your planned occupation, and how will you advance the tech sector in the UK. So it's actually a very important document, the most important, as I believe. So firstly, let's talk about, I will provide some tips that I personally use when I prepare documents for my clients. So firstly, I'm going to talk about the structure of the personal statement and the things that you have to talk about in this personal statement. It's actually quite an easy tip, and you can find it on the Technation site, but I will still tell you this. So your personal statement should consist, it's like a usual essay, it should consist of introduction, main part, and conclusion, and talking about the things that you have to talk about in this personal statement. These are: why do you want to come to the UK? What are you going to do in the UK? Your planned occupation? Which region or city in the UK are you going to stay? How will the digital technology sector benefit from your work? So this is quite a basic thing. So let's move to the tips that I use and I think that you should include or exclude of your personal statement. So thing number one is talking about your past. You should exclude talking about your past in your personal statement. Actually, your personal statement should be very future oriented. You already have 3 types of documents that talk about your past. Please make at least one that will talk about your future. You should always tell about things that you will do, and all these questions that I have, all these topics that I have talked about before, they all say, what will you do? What is your planned occupation? So it's always about the future. Do not talk about your past achievements. They already know this by your pieces of evidence and reference letters and so on. So no, talk about things that you will do. Tip number 2, do not retell your CV. Try, if you are using some facts from your past, try to make them connected to the future. For example, I have developed mobile applications, very successful mobile applications before, and I will do this in the UK. So do not just talk about things that you have done. No, you should connect them to your future. Thing number 2, which I think is very important, is to add something personal to this personal statement. What I mean by personal is do not be, very harsh and official when you provide a personal statement. Of course, it should be grammatically correct and written in all this official language. But you can say that something that you can provide information about something that you like about the UK. Why do you like this country? Why have you always dreamt to come here? And maybe you can tell about things that share your feelings a little bit. I think it's a very good idea too. Tip number 4 is please do not provide basic information about tech sector. I mean, I sometimes read personal statements that people have written themselves, and I see and I see this mistake all the time. People start to write about how advanced the technology sector is in the UK and all this stuff that is and start to bullet points, some good things about this and why is it so developed. You only have like 700 words in your personal statement, and you should not waste your words on this. They already know this. I promise. They already know everything about tech sector. It's not about the advantages of this tech sector in the UK. It's more about some of your personal abilities that can really fit there, that can be perfect there. And this is a complete different thing. So please do not provide this information. Tip number 5, do not forget to write about the place where you are going to live in the UK. This is very important because it shows how serious you are about moving to the UK. And I think you should never miss it. Of course, you may not know your address in the UK. Of course, you may not even know like the area where you are going to live, but you can write the area that you like. You should, for like 100%, you have to, I think you should provide like the city where you're going to live. But maybe you have some areas in the city districts that you really like, and maybe there are some things that some, you know, monuments, maybe some museums, maybe something, parks that are near this place and you want to be there and you really want to visit them, you want to work there. Or maybe there is like an office that you're sure you will be working in the future. So something like this. Please provide at least the area where you are going to live and why do you like it. Of course, in the end, maybe you will not live there, but you need to provide. Tip number 6. When you write about your planned occupation, it should always be the same. Besides your personal statement, you're also write about your planned occupation in your reference letters, or your referees write it in their reference letters. So you should ask them to write a particular thing in your future occupation, right? And it should be the same as in your personal statement. So all the reference letter have to contain one information like about your future occupation, and your personal statement have to contain this information, and it should be the same. And also it's great if you have had this position before and you are talking about the same position but in the UK. I think it's the best idea to provide. You do not have, again, in the future, you will not have to have this occupation. Of course, it can be different, but at least write that you are planning to have this occupation. This is very, very great. And tip number 7, last tip, please provide salutations, right? And introduction and conclusion, clear introduction and conclusion. You don't have to do this, but it will firstly make you seem like a very polite person. Secondly, it will make it easier for your referee, for the people who check your application to read it, because it's not always easy, and if they miss some information, it's not really good. So it's better to make it as easy as possible for them to read, and it should be as structured as possible. So these are the tips and tricks about your personal statement. Please use them when you are writing your personal statement yourself. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.